Hi, welcome to Swipers Anonymous, the podcast hosted by me, Anna.
And me, Gabby.
We both decided to have this show despite having no online dating experience because, like many of you, we were curious about it.
As a disclaimer, some themes and languages may not be suitable for audiences under the age of 18. The views of the interviewees are not necessarily the views of the hosts and the show. We are not professionals in any way in relationships and the like. Listener discretion is advised.
Due to some privacy concerns, some of our interviewees have requested use of a fictitious name for purposes of this podcast. All right, we hope you enjoy listening as much as we enjoyed recording. We're back. Today we are talking to Lady.
Hey guys.
Let's start with basics. What made you get into online dating? Are you still single? What are your best stories? I'm asking too many questions, but let's start with the first.
What was the first question again? Why did I get into online dating?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so I started I created my profile in 2016
Mm-hmm.
and my first Tinder date was in Paris.
Wow.
I love it.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can't
Wait,
beat
what?
that.
What? In Paris?
Yes.
Whoa, okay.
It
So
was
this is
a very-
assuming you were in Paris when you created your profile or when you turned it on. And...
Oh no. I knew I was gonna go to Europe that year.
Mhm.
And I did it out of, I suppose at first I did it out of spite because I just broke up with my boyfriend. It was like a 3-year relationship.
Nice.
And then
Oh.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to get into this whole Tinder thing. I don't even know who introduced me to it. So I did that. And I think 3 months before I went to Paris, I downloaded the application and then I created a profile. And then my first date was there. It was, looking back now, I think it was a stupid move because, I mean, I'm in a foreign country. I went out with a random. Well, it wasn't very random.
Yeah, but you
because
speak French, right? Like,
I do, yeah. But not enough to tell them to get away from me if they have a knife.
Do you now know how to say that? Do you
No.
now know how to say that in French?
The thing is, if it is a French guy, it would be very hard for me to to say that, considering that I'm in love with their language.
oh my God.
So
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. It was a trip in
Oh,
Paris, and then I've been talking to the guy for like 2 months before I actually met up with him. So that was when I created my first profile, and it just escalated from there.
Escalated. Wow, you make it sound so interesting. But so tell me about this date, this first date. Was it what you thought it would be? Was it scary? I mean, you're in a foreign country. It's one of the most romantic cities in the world.
That's right.
Did that add to the experience? Take away from it even? Or like was it a letdown?
Yeah, were you scared?
Let me think now, because I've been talking to the guy for a while before I actually went to Paris, and then when I met up with him, it was super romantic because like we went out for a stroll, and then we had lunch somewhere, and then it was pretty sweet actually. It was funny though because he tried to be even more romantic, like he rented a bike and then tried to get me on the bike, but I don't know how. So he was like annoyed at the end. He was like, you know what? He got mad at me, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how to
when
do
we
this.
say
man.
bike, do we're talking about like those bikes with like 2 people on it? Like
No, like a bicycle basically.
Okay.
And then he just basically wanted me to get on. Is the rent the bikes that you rent around the city?
correct, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The rent a bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those ones. And then I was like, I can't do this, man. Like it's I can't ride. You can't even ride on my own. Okay, people are gonna know who I am because I'm the only person I know who can't ride a bike. But for
No,
sure.
in fairness to you, like I didn't learn how to ride a bike until I was 25. Okay.
Okay. So
And my husband was the one who taught me how to ride a bike. FYI.
Oh,
Yeah. Moving on.
Moving on. So yeah, so that was a pretty great date. And then so this guy is like, he's so cute. He's French Bolivian.
Oh.
And I've never met a French Bolivian person, so it was kind of awesome. And then I just stayed 3 days in Paris. So the 3 days was spent with him, and then I left for another country. And then when I went back to Paris before my flight to the Philippines, I didn't meet up with him anymore because he was a bit unresponsive and I didn't want to waste my time. So I met up with another guy.
Oh.
So that's that. That's my introduction.
So did this guy speak English, or were you guys just trying your best to speak French?
Oh no, he spoke very well actually, like in English. Sorry, in English.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good.
So you would say
Pretty
your
cool.
first experience was a good experience.
Yes, very
Yeah,
good.
that sounds like a really good experience.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, City of Lights. what could go wrong except a bike, you know? I mean, who
Yeah,
thinks
so it just
that, right?
made-
Yeah, that's amazing.
I know. Like I think it's just because he wanted to make it really romantic for me. It was my first time in Europe too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought he was gonna make it romantic, but
It was
yeah.
plot foiled. But so
Isn't
now
that specifically?
my question would be like, what made you swipe right?
Swipe right. Yeah.
What made you say
was it
yes to
about
this
him?
guy? Like, what was about his
Yeah.
profile? What do you look for in a profile? Back then, was it the same thing as you still look for now?
Okay, so there's an ongoing stigma, I suppose, or maybe like one thing that's not good with Tinder is that you tend to get a bit superficial because, of course,
Of course.
there are photos. Yeah, so and that's the first thing you see.
okay.
It like takes like a 3/4 of the screen, right?
I'm-
But I do read profiles, so I'm not going to pretend like I'm not looking at the photos. I am, of course. Like if they're my type, I would swipe right. But also, it's very important to read the profile and the bio because you learn a lot. And sometimes, even if I'm not attracted to the person and I read their profile and it's their bio rather, and it's funny, I swipe right. So yeah, that was interesting for me. But now.
Okay.
It's actually the same. It hasn't changed. I've been in and out of the dating scene because I recently just broke up with my boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
Not recently, but like it was in February or
Oh.
January. So that boyfriend, that
Right
ex-boyfriend, I met
before
through
the
Tinder.
lockdown, you broke
Yes.
up with your boyfriend.
Yeah,
during lockdown.
yeah. But this guy I met
Wow.
through Tinder though.
Was
And
this
we,
a long-term relationship?
Yes, it was a long-term and long-distance one. And this was through Tinder also. I
Oh,
met him
that's
through
hard.
Tinder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you also meet him in Paris?
No, because he's from Netherlands.
Okay.
So yeah, so I met
So
him
would you
here
say
in
you
the
have a type?
Philippines.
You like foreigners? Is this like a type
Or-
thing?
I would say foreigners like me.
Ah, that is very
Ah, yes, of course. Of course.
Well, I would say I would definitely most of my matches would be non-Filipinos.
Mhm.
But I had relationships with a Filipino guy before. But yeah, majority of them, the guys that I go out with or have a relationship with, they're foreign. Yeah, I don't know why.
It's okay. It's okay to have a type.
Okay, so I just wanted to clarify which apps are you on? Tinder and
It used to be just Tinder, but now I just created a profile on Bumble. So now Tinder and Bumble.
How do you feel
how do you
about
like Bumble? Yeah.
There you go.
Bumble actually sucks for me.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, because I mean there are great profiles out there. Don't get me wrong. It's just that I can't choose the location where I can swipe. And normally,
Oh, I see.
on Tinder, it's easier to do that if you pay like a certain amount, like I think 150 pesos per month. And I used to do that
Okay.
because when I was swiping in Paris, I mean, like when I started, I was swiping in Paris, so I had to pay for premium because I wanted to meet people, right? But now, like of course, with the lockdown, it's easier to just swipe locally. So I want to swipe in Makati or in BGC or other places, not here in my area. Yeah, but on Bumble, I can't find that option. Maybe I don't know how. Maybe it's not available in this country. But yeah, so I pretty much just remove it from my my profile is out there, but the app is not installed on my phone.
I find that very
So it's just in
interesting.
there.
Why do you prefer, let's say, certain locations? Like, do you find that the quality of people in these locations are better or more to your liking? And is that a thing? Like, when you speak to other people who do this type of online dating, do they prefer certain people from certain locations?
I actually haven't spoken to anyone about it, like the specific locations, because most of my friends are in those areas. So Makati, BGC. I would say because it's a business district. So, and this circles back to what I'm looking for in a person whenever I'm swiping is, someone who has a job, basically, or someone running a business. So we don't want kids.
You mean you don't want to date a child?
Exactly.
And
none of those 17, 18 yuppies on gap year. No, thank you.
So you are never you are definitely one of those like serious looking for relationship types. You're not looking for fun. And do you say that in your profile?
I don't say that in my profile, but I'm not super looking to date seriously right now. When Anna asked me this question, I had to pause and I was like, "What am I looking for?" So it was a bit of a problem. I'm like, "Oh no, I actually don't know. Maybe this is why my Tinder's algorithm is confused too, because I'm also confused."
Interesting.
But it's
okay.
To answer your question, it's not on my profile. On my profile right now, it just says like I want to find someone who I can travel with, because I essentially just really that's the truest thing in my head right now. But serious relationship, because I just got off one. I'm not sure I'm looking for it, but I'm very open to it. I'm not going to say no, of course, if it's there. But it's very hard these days to find someone who's gonna take that seriously. So right now I'm just like, looking for someone who's willing to do a rapid test and meet me, and then maybe go to Siargao or go to Boracay or whatever. That's the goal.
Okay, I have a follow up to that. So I guess how does one position themselves? Like, do you feel like you've maybe put your best foot forward? Or I mean, I guess I'm not sure how to phrase the question, but like
okay, to answer your question, what was my thought process when I was creating my profile?
Yeah.
Is that right? Well, of course, like in my head, I really just want to date, right? Like I want to go out, I want to have coffee, I want to have fun, I want to have conversation. And essentially that's what I'm looking for. And then if they're willing, to go to travel to places with me. So when I'm putting up my profile, I would just pick the good photos that I have, I suppose. I just essentially stick to like proper photos. No judgment to those.
Like fully clothed photos.
Yeah, maybe half. Just kidding. Yeah.
Which half? Just kidding. Don't answer. So like you just mentioned that you do think about the intention. You do think about what they're thinking. When you do match with a guy, depending on what you're looking for at the time, I'm sure there are times of the year or the month wherein you're feeling, you know what, I just need to scratch an itch, right? I just need a little fun. But there are times when you're like, no, I want good company and I want to be able to have fun. So do you update your profile accordingly? And also, do you know how to decipher, depending on the conversation? Of course, obviously you speak to this person, you chat with them, or you send messages to each other before you meet. Like, do you know how to decipher which ones are just looking for fun or which ones are actually interested in you as a person?
Yeah. Well, to answer your first question, do I update my profile? Not really. The thing is, I've been in and out of it. Like I delete my profiles and then I create one if I'm like bored. So it's a bit in and out of the dating game, like I said.
Okay.
So this one the profile that I have is pretty recent. So I haven't updated it or anything. But when I do match with a guy, sometimes I can already tell because of their opening lines. Like some people can be very straightforward on what they want, which is okay, because you can easily just say yes or no. right? So, and if it's not something that I'm looking for at that moment, I just either don't reply or just say no. But I normally talk to people I can have an actual conversation with, or at least it starts out that way. And what I've been looking for on Tinder is very, on these dating profiles, is very consistent in a sense that I am looking for connection.
I wanted to know, like, what are the most obscene and yet on the opposite spectrum, like, what are the nicest opening lines they've ever, like, what are the most interesting ones that you just were like, that's great. Like, I want to keep talking to this person.
I'm trying to remember now. I can't remember any nice ones.
Oh, no. But you can remember the obscene one.
No, I mean,
Is
like,
it usually just like hi?
yeah. It's like something as boring as hi, or like, I like your profile, I like your smile, or whatever. It's all compliments. But the weirdest one would be when I started out on Tinder 4 years ago. So it was in French. And it was just an opening line of the things that the person would like to do to me in French, and all very sexual.
Wow.
And at that time, the only French things I know is how to say bonjour and where is the bakery.
I thought you meant like, where's the toilet?
Where's the toilet? Where's the bakery? And I had to Google, like, what is this guy saying? And it was just like a list. It wasn't even a hello, how are you? It was just literally a list of things that he would like to do to me. To which I just said, je comprends pas. So I said, I don't understand.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
that was pretty.
And that was the end of
I feel
it.
like that was like copy paste. Like maybe he sends that to everybody.
I feel like, and then whoever just bites, or whoever just like goes for it is the winner.
What do they win? What do they win?
Yeah. A very
Please
huge
tell me
favor.
this guy was at least good looking. I mean,
yeah, very
to be
good looking,
that
actually.
confident.
Very
Right?
good looking.
Oh.
I guess that's why he was very confident. But of course, like after I said je comprends pas, I just unmatched him because we don't have any time for that, for the time that I haven't. I should have said that.
Yeah.
It was too much things to do. With my
I
very
didn't have
little
enough time.
time in Paris.
That would have been epic.
That would
Like,
have
how
been
about
epic, I
1, 2,
agree.
and 3? The rest
Yeah,
we
that
can
would have
leave
been fun.
behind.
But yeah, so you get some really bold. Look at Anna, so happy.
She's living vicariously through you.
I know, I love it. You
No,
should
I
have
just-
asked me this when we're together.
You are,
And-
Gab.
Dude, I live vicariously through the smut literature that I read. Sorry, rather listen to. Trust me. Now,
Oh my God.
going on looks. Speaking of looks, have you ever been
Mhm.
catfished?
Oh,
That was my
I
next
haven't.
question.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
Anna. Please, for the purpose of this, please ask the question one more time.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yes. Have you ever been catfish?
No, I have not. Well, I do have a story for that.
Oh, nice. I love stories.
Yeah. I have a story for that. Okay, so I haven't been catfished in a sense that I've met up with a person and it's not their profile, or like their photos don't look like them. I haven't. Fortunately, I haven't been catfished. But recently, I matched with a guy who I exchanged numbers with, and then I was talking. So we switched over from Tinder to WhatsApp. His WhatsApp didn't have a photo on it. And I was like, okay, that's
Oh.
fine. It's normal. Not everyone puts up like a photo, right? So yeah.
Mhm.
He asked me for a photo, and I said, I don't take selfies on my phone. And he's like, no, come on, just send me a photo, even if it's like a photo on your phone. I was like, okay. So I sent him a photo, and then I said, okay, your turn. And then he said, he was honest about it. He said, okay, I'm not the person on my profile. And then I said, oh, I see. Okay. And then he sends a photo of him, so different from his profile. And then he explains why he
No.
did this. He says he's been screwed over by a Filipina, and the Filipina is also on Tinder. I suppose they live in the same area, so they see each other on Tinder. And then one time she reported his profile. So he's like, what can I do? Like, I want to meet people. And this Filipino, I don't know if he was like telling the truth
Of
or
course.
what.
Yeah, 'cause you don't
And then
know
he,
him. Yeah.
exactly, like he could be lying for all I know, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I told him, like, thank you for being honest with me. And then he was like, do you still want to continue talking? And then I told him, like, honestly, no, because even if you, I'm okay with how you sound super superficial, but I'm okay with how you look, because he asked, like, do I look like his type or whatever? So I said, I'm okay with how you look, but for me, this is lying, and I'm not lying on my
Yeah.
profile.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So sorry, I'm not interested anymore. So that was that.
But that was nice
yeah.
of you to.
Okay.
I think it's still a nice
Yeah.
way of putting it, right? I mean, you were
Right. I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could have
Follow
been
up
me.
to that.
Mhm.
So like when you do you like, for lack of a better term, do you like Facebook stalk or like Instagram stalk people like after you match with them? Do you check out their other profiles on other social media?
I would normally do that because
Okay.
because I told you I recently installed Tinder, right?
Yeah.
It has a warning now that I saw that says when you match with someone, make sure to vet their profiles and check them on social media or whatever.
Mm.
So there's already a warning. I suppose because there are a lot of people getting catfished. I don't know, but it didn't have that warning before.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
if their profile or if their Instagram or Facebook is available, because they don't show the last names, right? I would totally look them up. And my my Instagram is linked on my Tinder profile, just so they can like verify if I'm a real person or not. I think it's just courtesy to do that.
Have you guys heard of reverse image searching, like reverse Google image searching?
What does that mean?
I have heard of it, but I haven't done it.
So basically, like if you watch Catfish or something, you can take a picture that somebody posts and put it in Google and find out, or I think there's an app too, you can find out if that picture is a fake picture that maybe someone stole off the internet.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's how it works basically, but I haven't done it actually.
I've never.
So I guess since you haven't done that, I guess maybe you can give us some advice. Like, how do you like keep safe? How do you safeguard yourself? I mean, like obviously these are still strangers. Like, how do you as a woman keep yourself safe? And maybe what advice can you give to our listeners about this?
Right. So I would exchange numbers first. So I would continue the conversation on WhatsApp or Viber, and I would talk to them more before I meet up with them, like maybe 2-3 days or a week, or I'll schedule the date like a week later. So at least it gives me time to look them up or at least get to know them. Because, sometimes when you talk to a person consistently, you get a feel of how they are anyway. You ask the right questions. And if they're open to like answering your questions, like where do they work or what do they do for a living rather, or nothing super invasive, but like basically just general questions you would ask on a date if you went out on a date with someone you didn't know.
Of course.
So I would do that first. That would be my advice, just to talk to them first before meeting them. Of course, to keep an open mind, because it's still a whole new thing in the Philippines. Even though it's been around for like quite a few years, the whole concept of dating is very Western, right?
Yeah.
Because in the Philippines, how we do it is ligaw, basically. So in high school, your crush would, I don't know, just send you messages or send you or text you or whatever. It's an old school thing, like ligaw. But then now it became so much easier because of Tinder.
Yeah.
So
I would
ligaw
say,
in English is courtship or courting.
Right, correct.
And in the Philippines, in fact, they won't even speak to you until somebody that you know or that a common friend introduces you. I mean, that's like the idea of ligaw in the Philippines. You have to be introduced. It's like vetting. It's like a vetting process, right?
Right. Yeah. You have to be referred by a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that brings me actually just to circle back to our original point earlier. What makes Tinder great? No, nobody asked this, but it's great. Tinder is great. What, what makes Tinder great is it takes out the whole back and forth in the relationship. Like, oh, does he like me? Does he like me not? It's so annoying for me. It's so frustrating. And it's probably why I match with more with foreigners or with
Mhm.
non-Filipinos, because I just can't deal with the whole torpe. You don't. Sorry, I don't know what the English is of torpe. What the word is for. What is torpe in English?
Like
Shy, even. I think
Shy, I
shy?
suppose.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think a shy guy. Isn't there a song
Yeah.
about that? Shaggy,
Yeah.
shy guy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with my Filipino ex, it was a lot of like maybe like 3-4 months of back and forth, and I just can't do that anymore. With Tinder, it's just because with that swipe and you match, you already know you like each other, even though you're not gonna end up together, you're not gonna
He's
probably go
interested,
out.
or at the very
Exactly.
bare
Oh,
minimum,
yeah, you don't want
he's attracted
the
to you.
mind games, like because
Yeah,
like there's a lot of
yeah.
mind
I
games
hate
in
it. So that's that. So sorry, I had to just point that out. But going back
Oh, that's
to
great. Thank you.
going back to the advice is to basically just if you can do the reverse image search thing, go for it. I don't know how to do that, but I will learn. Anna, you have to teach me, and then just talk to them. Basically, ask the right questions. Where do you work? What do you do? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think even though you say you don't know what you want, I think it's very evident from our conversation that you kind of do know what you want. You want a guy who obviously has a job, which is important.
Yeah.
Somebody
Correct.
who either has a job or is a business owner, which means that they're already established and that they're responsible. Because let's face it, there are a lot of men
Mhm,
out there,
mhm.
especially in the Philippines, who wherein we live with our families until we're married. They're very irresponsible that way, or they're late starters. So I think it's
Correct.
important to you to know that this person has some sort of drive or initiative, right? And these are
Yeah.
ways in which you can possibly pick up on that, like if they have a job, for one, right? Also, you like people who are forward, who can instantly
Mhm.
tell you that they're interested in you, and so
Yeah.
that you don't play that back and forth. So you actually do know what you want.
I do know it. Maybe that's good for like the first 4 months.
Correct.
But then afterwards, I'm like, what do I want? But yeah, essentially, you got it right, definitely. Because I guess when I'm connecting with these people, those who have ambition and those who already have jobs or have their own businesses, it makes for good conversation, right? You're not just talking about dating or sleeping around or whatever. You talk about traveling and you talk about their stories and how they build their businesses and what do they love about their job. And I find that super interesting. And that is what makes a great date for me, is connecting first and then, seeing what happens later.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask, have you ever experienced wherein the guy was ridiculously attractive, and yet no matter how good looking he was, you just couldn't bring yourself to going on a second date? Maybe he was too boring, or there was just something unattractive about him during the date. But because we were joking around and we were joking around about these people who say they're sapiosexual. Is that the word, Anna? Sapio? They
Yeah,
only
yeah,
like
the
people who are
one Liz
intelligent,
said.
which I think is absolute bullshit. Because I
Yeah.
said, if Chris Hemsworth or the equal to you
Oh no.
Yes.
came to you
Sorry,
and said,
Chris Hemsworth.
I love Chris Hemsworth. Like, if that guy came, I didn't care how stupid or uninteresting he was, I probably would date him anyway. Right?
Yeah.
Just because he was
Yeah.
so attractive. But has that ever happened to you? And the guy was just so attractive. Either you didn't care how stupid he sounded or how uninteresting he was, or the opposite. He was so attractive and yet you couldn't bring yourself to go on a second date with him. It's
It,
just so curious.
it has happened to me. Yeah. Yep, definitely.
Which one, the former or the latter?
I went out with a person who was ridiculously attractive, model levels,
Wow.
great skin, great lips, great hair, like amazing.
Everything.
Here in the
Prettier than
Philippines,
you?
Like,
prettier than me, way prettier than me, and like just amazing. But God, he was so shallow. I'm so sorry. It was just
Oh,
I
okay,
can't
yeah.
deal with it. Like, I mean, I tried. I think I'm a great conversationalist anyway. Like, I ask the right questions. That's why I like going out for coffee first,
Yeah.
or drinks, but mostly for coffee. But this guy, I can't get anything out of him except that he's a great looking guy and he's a model and girls like him and all that.
I will
Um,
vouch she is a great interview. So I
Yeah.
will
Thank
vouch for
you.
her because she is a great conversationalist. She knows how to answer questions. She circles
Yeah,
back.
you guys just met now.
Yeah,
And we're
I will
already
vouch
friends.
for you. I will vouch for you on this. So this guy must have been terrible.
Yes, but he's so hot. So hot. I will tell you a very, very, very interesting bit, and I really hope this doesn't get out. I mean,
No.
I don't care. It could be anyone, right?
Yeah.
So the date went interesting. So he was very hot. I couldn't get through a sentence because, like, I mean, I would ask questions, but he would never ask me questions
Think
about me,
yourself.
right?
Wow. Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
But then this conversation led to kissing.
Oh.
Which was he really had great lips. Okay,
So
like
was he
to
at
me,
least a good kisser? Was he at least a good kisser?
I can't tell because I am a great kisser.
No.
I love it.
No, but he was a great kisser. And then I had to like comment on something because he was very hot. So I said, "Your lips are like crazy soft." It was super soft, like it was weird. You know what he told me?
What did he say?
He told me, "And your lips are like dry right now."
Oh no!
To be fair, it was okay. I'm sorry. I months of not wearing a chapstick, or what do you call those? A lip balm, lip gloss.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And then I was like, "You shouldn't be saying that to me." And then he said, "Maybe you just need water." But you know, this guy, he didn't even offer me water.
Oh my
He
god.
was just
Let
a
me guess.
suggestion.
He was like some Brazilian model who was flown into the Philippines. One of those.
No, not really. I hope he was Brazilian. It would have probably like
Was he local?
he's local, yeah, but he's half
Yeah.
Filipino. Yeah, yummy
That's
actually.
as
Very
far
yummy.
as she can go.
Yes.
Yeah. We're not going to name names, but I find it so
Yeah.
odd that like a local would be that brash, I suppose, or rude.
Yeah. It actually, yeah, it was my first time being. I mean, I didn't take it super. Like, I didn't take it as an offensive thing, but it would have been nice to if he offered me water
Yeah.
at least, because I was dehydrated. Okay?
So was that
I'm
was
sorry.
it? That was the deal breaker. You're like, okay, yeah, you know what? No matter how hot you are, this is not happening.
Yeah, the second date
Yeah.
didn't happen anymore. I mean, he asked for a second date, or like
Yeah.
just to hang out or whatever, but it didn't happen anymore. So yeah.
Wow.
Oh well,
That is awesome.
you you win some, you lose some, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
I do have a question for you too.
For us?
Yes.
Go
Okay,
for
go
it.
for it.
Okay. So if you guys like no your personality with your personalities, if you guys didn't have anyone right now, or like if you were single, would you go for Tinder or Bumble, just all these dating apps?
Anna, please answer first. I need to think.
Wow. Okay. Let me think. Honestly,
Am I putting you on the spot? I'm
no,
sorry.
no, it's
Nah,
fine. It's
nah.
fine. I mean, honestly, like I don't know.
We can always edit it out, Anna. Don't worry.
Yeah, we can.
Right,
But
right,
I'm
right.
I'm a little like, I guess I would be a little self-conscious because honestly, I feel like people who are on these apps, they're really brave. They're
Yeah.
putting themselves out there, and honestly, like I don't know. Like maybe I would like work out in the gym first and like make sure that I'm like,
To get a really nice bikini photo out there.
yeah, get a really. I mean, like just things like that. Like it's tough, but like honestly,
It
like
is.
before I met my husband, I'm really lucky. Like I met my husband and we matched perfectly and everything. But like dating is tough, and I can't I can understand why someone would need to go on to Tinder or anything, because just meeting your friends' friends or going to a bar, it's really hard. It's so hard. So I would probably I probably would have tried it, because honestly, I'm weird. I think you and I are both weird. So we
That's
don't,
right.
Don't
totally
knock
mesh
it.
with
Beard
everyone.
is good. Beard is good. We don't want boring.
So yeah, I guess I would be open to it. I would probably
Yeah.
need a lot of encouragement and a lot of alcohol before I uploaded my profile. But yeah.
Yeah.
I think you totally
And you,
rock it
Gabs?
anyway.
Me.
I don't know.
I'm very self-conscious. Like I told Anna before we started this podcast, it's like, Anna, I don't know if this would work because I have very unpopular opinions and I am quite opinionated. And so I'm quite self-conscious and my mom, let's just put it this way. My mom's always in the back of my mind. My mom's a total Maria Clara, very conservative. Whatnot. So I always have her in the back of my mind. I'm always thinking my opinions and my opinionatedness in general is not for the Filipino public. So I think I would overthink my profile for one.
Right.
If I were to go on it, I would definitely overthink it. And I think I would be a non-starter. I'd probably put it on there and then just pull it out.
Right.
I don't know. It's a tough question to answer. I think exciting. It's exciting to think I could meet just any random person. And I like to travel as well. I like countries, and it would be interesting to meet some random guy. But then I'd also be a lot in my head. This could be some serial killer. What are you? What and I think I go back to what Anna's saying is you guys, and that's why we're so interested in people like you. You are brave.
Oh, thanks.
And when I watched the Disney Cinderella, the live action one, and she said, be brave and be kind. I think those are the two most important characteristics to have in a human being. Because being kind doesn't mean that people walk all over you, because you're brave and you can stand up for yourself. So I think people like you are amazing to talk to because you are brave. And I don't think I'm that brave.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
I
tough
think
question.
you're gonna rock it too. Yeah, it is. I would understand because, you've been in really long-term relationships, and it's not as well. It is exciting, but also a lot of people are looking to have what you have, which is amazing, also. I think. Now looking back at the people I've met on Tinder, they're actually the best people that I met. Some of the greatest people. I am friends with some of those that I've met. Well, some are just forgotten, but it's quite an interesting thing to have in this age. But also it helps us, at least me, who I think would want to have something that you have in the future, maybe to have a good start, because right now it's hard to meet people, especially with the pandemic, right? We can't go on bars anymore. Those meet cute things in bookstores, it's not gonna happen anymore.
I love how she used the word meet cute. Meet cute
in
is
the
a great
foreseeable year. Meet cute, right? Yeah, I like that. But yeah, I wouldn't trade anything. My small romances, my flings, I like it, especially when it's in a foreign country. It's super amazing.
You should write short stories about these things. Some of the stories I've heard are so cute and so amazing. Some of them are terrifying, but I feel like they're very interesting and a good snap into what life is like at this time. And I think you should definitely get into that.
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe. I mean,
do you have any other questions?
Actually, we've come full circle, but I do have a question, and it has a lot to do with this stigma. You said it a few times, if you're just feeling like the guy's just hot and maybe you're just a little lonely, or you just want something fun. How do you get over that stigma as a Filipina? Because let's put it this way, there are people out there who are still very much judgmental, and they're very close-minded. And we were talking about this in our last interview, and how we we don't necessarily agree with that view how about you? Like, did you struggle with that? I guess your sexuality as a woman, or were you always just a very open and free spirit about it?
Good question, actually. Like when I set up my profile, I didn't really think much of it. Maybe because I have friends who are in like long-term relationships, and then those who are single who are on Tinder or on Bumble, right? So it wasn't very uncommon because I see it in my friends, but also I'm fortunate enough to have parents who aren't very conservative. So at least I never really had to of course I don't send them my matches. But when I met up with like that guy in Paris, my mom knew like I was going to meet a person because, sorry, I keep looping back to past conversations, but like whenever you go on dates, just another tip, whenever you go on dates, you have to send the photo or the number to a friend just in case.
That's awesome. Yes, that's great.
That
advice.
is a pro tip. Yeah.
And tell them where you're going,
where
right?
you are. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. So I have designated friends for that. Anyway.
That's awesome. Okay.
What was I saying?
You sent the picture to your mom.
Yeah. So like I was fortunate enough to have parents who are open-minded. And then so it wasn't really much of a struggle. Like, should I be doing this? Should I just be waiting for a guy to come sweep me off my feet? Because honestly, in this day and age, it's not gonna happen anymore. I think. I mean, I still do believe in romance, but like. It's very hard to
it's a modern romance. It's a modern
romance.
Yeah.
It's still it's still romance, right?
Take charge of your own fate.
Exactly. I believe in that. Yeah. So there. It wasn't much of a struggle, but it was a fun experience still.
That's cool. So thank you so much. Like, I think you've been an amazing person to interview. You're so much fun.
Gave us a lot to think about. That's for sure.
Yeah. So thank you for being on the show. We super appreciate it. And thanks to our listeners. Thank you. You keep this alive. All two of you, like meaning my mom and Gab's mom. Thank you. Swipers Anonymous is a Mighty Media production. Our theme song is by Ian Amane, sound and production by Luis Cruz.
If you have questions, want to reach out, or want to be on the show, or just want to chat, contact us at milotiberiusmedia@gmail.com. That's MILOTIBERIUS media. milotiberiusmedia@gmail.com.